video, let us discuss an important data structure in Python, list. A list is a data structure in Python that is mutable or changeable, ordered sequence of elements. Let's explore that. A list be a list. It's the name of the list. I gave it. And list is always enclosed in square brackets. Let's write some elements of list. Apple, maybe next be orange, and like that. Now let's print the list, and as you can see, the list have different kinds of elements. Like first four elements are string, and last element is an float number, and second last element is an integer. We can wrap up any kind of data or most of the kind of data in a list. Now let us examine the indexing property of a list. To access first element, that is starting element, you should specify the name of the list with the starting index. The list starts from 0, so we are specifying the list name. Here it is a list, you can keep it at any name, and starting position, that is 0. And we are getting the first element, that is append. Let's see how we can access the list from last element. If we want the last element, we specify the index number as -1. If we want second last number, we specify it as -2. If we want third last number, we specify it as -3, and so on. Now let's access sublist of the list. That is, we want to list the elements from a position, that is from an index to an index. As you can see here, print 1:3 prints two elements, that is with the elements in the position 1 and 2, and 3, the elements in position 3 is not printed. In general, if we have to print an element from index A to index B, we have to give the range in such a way that A:B+1. So B is also included in that sublist. If you want to prepare a sublist or access element from last position, you can do it in this way. Here we specify the index with respect to backside, or I prefer the negative axis of the list. So it's -4 to -1. That is, we are printing the fourth most element from backwards to the second element with respect to the back of the list. Now let's try to change the contents of the list. You can change the content of list by specifying the index and using assignment operator. Now the 0th indexed element is became 7. Previously it was apple. Another cool feature of a list is an element of a list can be a list. Let's check it out. How's that work? Now let's print that. And as you can see, the second element of the list is modified into the list that we had altered. That is, we had assigned a list into the second position or first index of the list. Now let us examine an important function in list, append. Let's create an empty list and print it. Now we can see that the list is empty. Obviously we hadn't entered any element. So let's use append function like l.append, that is the list name and append function, and we pass 1 as its argument or inside the brackets. Now let's print L. Now we can see that element is inside or appended to the list. Now let's append a string to the list. Same way, let's append another list as an element of list. Let's print that. So as you can see, the function of append is to append the elements to the last position of the list. Link to the Python program that we had discussed in this video is given in the description box. Please feel free to check it, and if you had learned something new, then like the video, and if you want to learn Python that is useful for machine learning, subscribe to this channel. Thank you.